What's up, my Finna love, sisters Finna D, coming to you all from Finna Team News. So this interview was more so of someone seeing Fallon's story, what she was going through, seeing her on social media and how she carried herself and how she's handling and carrying herself through all of this mess with her divorce and all of that, and just simply wanted to speak life into Fallon. So it is not going to be a typical interview where questions are asked and Fallon are answering. It's more of a conversation, like the interviewer Aisha is going to say. Yes, there were some moments where she could have chill a little bit and allow Fallon to answer the questions fully. There were some moments where Fallon was a little bit interrupted, but for the most part I felt like it was a great conversation. I felt like she spoke life into Fallon, and that's really what she wanted to do. She just wanted to uplift her and let her know, look, there are people out here who love you and all of that. I didn't just want to jump into what Fallon had to say about the divorce and all of that. I have about 150 videos, not literally, but on this channel about that. So I didn't just jump to that part. There are moments where Fallon is laughing, engaging in a conversation, and I just wanted you all to just get to know more of that side of Fallon. At around the 9 minutes, 10 minutes mark, she starts to talk about her divorce and talk about being strong, and she also talked about not being allowed to follow her passion in acting, but now that she can do that, she talked about being strong and looking up to herself. It was a really great and powerful conversation. There were some parts that I took out that I felt like wasn't too important, but for the most part I left majority of the interview in. They were on Instagram live for almost 43 minutes, and this video is over 40 minutes, so I left a lot of the interview in because I just felt like it was a powerful and a beautiful conversation. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Hi, Wes. So we're waiting for Fallon to get on. This is Conversation on the Rocks. For those of you who are new followers, watchers, Conversation on the Rocks is all about depth, good conversation. So if you guys are tuned in hoping that Fallon says something crazy about Portia, that's not what this is. Again, if you're like, damn, Aisha hasn't done a podcast episode, or Aisha hasn't done Conversation on the Rocks, understand it's because I haven't come across an energy or a frequency that makes me want to fire up the grill and sit down and talk. The queen is here. Wait for her to send that request, and then we're going to get started. Again, if you guys have questions about Fallon the woman, that's it. Fallon the mom, Fallon the woman, by all means submit your questions, but we're not talking about any of the other messy shit. She's above that. She's better than that. So she's coming on. The queen. The queen is here.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Fallon. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry I took so long. I was silencing my children.
No. Listen, I was telling them that the reason why I sometimes take a while between these Conversation on the Rocks is because I'm fluid in energy and vibration and frequency. So I will only move if something about somebody resonates to me. If I feel like there's depth, I want to talk to that person. And you just come across with so much depth. You have such a light energy. And I was like, you know what? I want to talk about that woman. So here we are. And they know this is all about Fallon the woman, Fallon the mother, Fallon, the businesswoman. That's what this is, and nothing else.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, I'm happy you accepted my invitation. I was like, I hope she doesn't think that this is messy. This is positive. So when you said yes,
honestly, I haven't been accepting many interviews, as you guys have seen. You're not new to that, but yours really stuck out to me. When you described about your show and what it is that you're about, and everything that you're about is the same thing I'm about. So I was like, oh, this is definitely something.
We're on here to celebrate each other. So today we honor you and we're celebrating you. So let's get started, because I did tell them that you're a mom, a boy mom at that. I have one son, Fallon, and he's going to high school this year, and I want to cry every time I think about it, and I don't know what's
I know,
happening.
I know. So is mine. Mine's going in ninth grade, my oldest one. And then the second one is going to eighth grade. So it's like they're right behind one another, and it's so heartbreaking.
It is. I'm happy you used the word because that's how I feel. Like I'm happy for him, but I'm sad for me a little bit. My baby,
Yeah.
they might be gone in 4 years.
Oh
They
my
won't
God,
be here.
don't
They'll
say
be.
that. I will start crying, you guys. I'm
Okay.
a big baby, okay?
I
I'm
know.
tough,
Me
but
too.
I'm a big baby. I will cry.
I want to know, like, what are you like as a mother, right? Because I have a son and a daughter, and I'm
Mhm.
often a referee. So for you, how is it having these boys? I know they're eating like crazy. Video game. What is that like?
Mm.
Your
Mm.
household. What is that like?
You know, eating, sleeping, and video games is pretty much how it is. Outside of that, they don't really, I don't, thank God, I don't really have to referee that much. I raised my boys to be very close. Family is first. We don't disrespect one another. You know,
Hmm.
we don't disrespect each other's space.
Yeah.
We're all respectful of each other. So, I mean, even when they do get a little too far, it's more so like who had the best Joan. You know, they Joan on each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you ain't going, you know.
Right.
And I think that's the worst that it gets here. I mean, if these two, the oldest two, if they got into like a really serious altercation, I would be scared. I wouldn't even
I
know what
know.
to do. They're big. They're bigger than me. I don't know. I would be like, guys, no,
Right.
stop.
Right.
I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that. I love bonding over kids because it's the one thing, it's like our heart outside of our bodies. And
it
so
is.
it's like as women, we connect on that quick.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
want to move to the next topic, which is you painting. Sis, I need to know where did the how did you know you had that talent? Were you growing up and your mom or dad introduced? How did you get there with painting?
You know, my mom has always been into art. She did more like oil paintings, whereas I'm acrylic. But I do abstract, whereas she doesn't. So, where I came into it, it's funny. I just started doing it when I got pissed off one day, which that was the only time that I ever painted angry. I usually paint when I'm very happy because
Hmm.
those are my best work.
I was going to ask you that.
I, yeah, I cannot paint when I'm really upset. It'll show
Yeah.
immediately. But yeah, I was pissed off one day. One of my old friends, she said something that was really hurtful, that brought up a lot of childhood trauma.
Hmm.
And I was in the middle of a party, actually. I was hosting a party at home, and I couldn't bear the things that she had said. And I can't even remember exactly what it was that she said because I
Hmm.
guess I blacked out in that moment, and I just took myself away from it. I went to my room, I locked myself in my room, and I just started painting. And next thing you know, I mean, people just fell in love with my painting. So I just started
You
painting
had
my
the
house
gift. You
pieces.
had the gift. I
Yeah.
love that. I wonder for you, when you come home or you're exhausted, what are your spiritual routines? What do you do to relax yourself? What do you drink? What do you watch? What's that like when the boys are in bed? What does Fallon do to relax?
Actually, it's one or two things. I'm either watching a movie, and action movies, for some reason, they're very therapeutic and calming for me. I guess I'm a weirdo like that. I mean, I grew up as a tomboy, so action movies are my jam. Um, so at night, that's usually what I'm doing. If I'm not doing that, then I do meditate for about 20 minutes,
Okay.
depending on how serious that day was. And as y'all have seen, it's been pretty hectic for me over here.
It'll calm down, sis. Soon enough, it'll calm down.
I'm waiting for the day. But no, yeah, so I meditate, and I don't know where I would be right now in this transition of my life, had I not learned how to meditate.
What do you think, Fallon, about the crystals? Do you use crystals in
Mm.
meditation? And if so, what are your favorite ones?
You know what? I am not my puppies. I am not that knowledgeable about the crystals.
Okay.
However, my friend just recently, with given everything going on, I guess she felt bad for me.
Don't make me like, I can't with you. I can't.
She gave me a crystal. I was like, oh, it must be bad. She gave me a crystal. This big black one. I don't know what. Maybe you guys know what that is.
I have the black one written down. I don't have it, but I have it. I have it written down because it's a crystal I don't have yet.
Okay. So it's this big black crystal, and she said it's for protection and it protects against negativity.
Yeah.
So I actually, this is gonna sound so bad.
Listen, you're on with family. Just go on and say it.
I keep it in my Bentley. I never take it out of my Bentley, because my Bentley was a gift from a certain someone, as we all know, and I didn't want that negative energy to come along with it. So I keep the crystal in the Bentley.
You can't come in the house right now, okay? You can't come inside right now. Sorry.
I have to clean the energy of the Bentley.
Let's have a dropper. I'm gonna tell you what it is. When I remember, I'll DM it to you. It's upstairs. But she also told me that it heals a broken heart. I'm gonna DM you. But give me your PO box. I'm gonna send you a rose quartz, and I'm gonna send you the drops. And the drops are organic. They come from Sprouts. They have it at Whole Foods too.
Put it in your water, like a whole entire.
I'm gonna give it to you because it expedites. It expedites. And you wake up one day and you're like, it doesn't hurt anymore. I think you're like, wait a second, am I just having a good day, or does it still? And you're like, wow, it doesn't hurt anymore. So I'm gonna send it to you.
Wait for that day.
So the next topic I want to discuss with you is growth, right? And that's something that we all have to go through. But I feel like the one things they don't tell you about growth is you only really grow in broken places, right? Like you don't grow when everything's amazing. And that's what sucks. So I want to know, what was your biggest growth spurt in life? And how did it change you?
That's a very good question. There are just so many, but if I had to categorize any of them, I would say this one, And for those of you who don't know, I'm in the middle of a very nasty and public divorce, and this one has been pretty tough because I really thought that this person was going to be my forever, and when you think that you're going to be with someone, when you have a plan, set in stone. I've never planned anything in my life. Let me just, make that very clear right now. I'm not a planner. I'm just all about my mom used to call me Pocahontas because I just go with the wind, you know. I'm very spontaneous. So I set out a plan with this man, and our children, and I was very, very, very invested in, this plan of mine. And everything just shifted. My whole plan just went away. And it was almost as if it happened overnight. And having to deal with that, but not just having to deal with it, but having to deal with it publicly. And then dealing with the other person and them not being as amicable as I wanted it to be. That has been the toughest transition. It's been a pretty tough road, and honestly, I don't have a happy ending just yet. To provide for everybody. I'm just taking it day by day, and I'm learning right now that you can't. I know everybody wants me to come out in the public and show my, what do they call it? Show my receipts. And shut shit down. Yeah, that's not happening. You know why? Because it doesn't serve me. Right. At the end of the day, it doesn't serve my healing. process. When I said that I was trying to take some time to heal, I was serious. That
Yeah.
wasn't from a publicist. That was
Yeah.
straight from me.
Yeah.
I really do want to heal, and I want to grow, and I want to move forward and move on, you know, with my life.
Yeah.
And as the same I want for him. So if I were to just fight fire with fire, it's not going to get me
No,
anywhere.
you'd be exhausted too.
You know, and it's easier said than done. It's been very hard.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle, because there are times, trust me,
Yeah.
where I am tested and I
Yeah.
wanna do it, you know.
Yeah.
But what is that gonna fix? What is that gonna do?
Yeah.
What is it gonna do? Provide some type of proof for,
It'll
you
just
know,
be
the
everybody else's
people, and
entertainment.
yeah, that's all it is. And at the end of the day, this is my real life. This isn't
Yeah.
for a show.
Yeah.
You know, this is my real life. These are my children's real lives.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they look up to me. And I want them to be certain human beings. I want them to be the best human beings that they can be
Yeah.
on this earth, and to treat people with love and kindness and respect, even when those people may not deserve it. And that's
Yeah.
what I teach my children. So I can't teach them that if I'm not leading by example,
Yeah.
you know. So sorry to disappoint, but
Yeah. No, I
I'll
understand.
be boring, as they call me.
And boring is so amazing. It takes a very strong woman to go through what you're going through and to still show up every day to this world in one piece physically, maybe mostly in pieces, but physically. And to show up every day of your life and say, even on the days where I didn't even feel like getting up, I didn't feel like being a mom today, you know, like I just want to stay in bed, I want to pull my covers. But when you go the other way with it and you look at how strong you are, and I'm not saying this because we're on social media, how strong you are, how peaceful you are, how tranquil that you are. Of course, you can result to foolishness and, you know, putting on this show for everyone else's entertainment, but you're staying true to yourself. And I know it's hard because being true to yourself, it doesn't promote anything healthy, like you were saying. But I want you to know that all things work together for good, and that this season that you're in is just that. It's a season. And at the end of all this, when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, understand that there was a reason why you went through it. And looking right now, you might not see it. But when you move forward in your life, you know, who knows? You might be a woman that can start a platform that can help women heal after divorce. You know, helping single mothers find their voice and figure, you know, find spirituality and meditation. I can see you doing all of those things because to us, you are the epitome of class. Your class. And just know that we're not looking at you in any other way other than to love on you and to support you. And I'm sure a lot of people here can say the same thing. So just trust and believe that, you know, sometimes it may seem like they're winning, right? But according to the word of God, he said that the first will be last and the last will be first. So you wait for your moment because it's coming. It's coming. And I wish you all the peace and all the happiness in the world because you deserve it. We all do. You know, and as women, we have to do this. We have to like comfort each other. We don't know each other, but as women, we all have something in common. We're all trying to be the best people we can be. At least I am. I feel like you are. And trying to hurt as few people as possible along the way. And so for that, just understand that there's people out there that may look to criticize, but there's a whole body of people over here that are just sending you love and light and healing and happiness. And I have no question that you're going to have it, and it'll be better.
Yes.
Than it was, because you deserve better.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I have chills. I'm like, I just need to like record your voice and everything you just said, play it every single morning so that I can wake up with those affirmations. Because I mean, the thing that I can't take all the credit. The biggest thing that has gotten me through all of this with a positive mindset are the fans and the supporters. I mean, I receive endless messages all day, every day of just positive and loving people. I mean, and all these affirmations. I mean, it's so uplifting, and it gives me hope, you know, that there are good people, you know,
Yes.
in this world, and people who think like me, you know, and people
Mm-hmm.
who, you know, want better for themselves, people
Yeah.
whom I can help, people who can
Yeah.
help me, you know, and people who truly do want to grow and help one another. And that's what I'm truly about. I'm not about the messiness, which is probably why I'll never return back to reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at it.
It's yeah.
I suck really bad, but
You suck back.
I don't know why I did that.
Don't make me laugh. You did not
I
stop.
just want to help people, and it was like the opposite of who I am, and they were like, "Get in there, Fallon," and I was like, "No,"
Yeah.
I was like, "No, she's beautiful."
But you know what, Fallon? It's that whether you realize it or not, this incident shook so many people. It shook us to the core. And so I think that's why we gravitate to you, because you see something happen to someone, you don't even know this person, but you're impacted by it. And so we look at, if we could feel the impact, can you imagine what she must be feeling? And so it's important that we love on each other and that we support each other. But just know your story shook a lot of people, and and
Wow.
and immediately we go to comfort the person that needs the most comforting, and that's you. We all kind of rallied around, even if we didn't know you, but to anchor you and to protect you, because that's how we view you. Someone, you're a queen, and you're a queen worthy of being protected. Do you know what I mean? And even though you may seem like you're kind of out here floating, you're not floating. You're not floating. You're currently moving in a different direction. It may feel like you're standing still, but you're moving. And the energy around you is promoting you moving. And don't doubt that. Some days you might feel like you're standing still, but even in your stillness, you're still moving. Do you understand what I'm so just know that and
Are
understand.
you an energy reader as well?
So I'm a
That's like my
I am.
everyday feeling. I'm like, dang, I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything. And
Yeah. But you
yeah,
have to
you know,
appreciate those
those
days.
insecurities, you know, I try not to dwell on the insecurities. I think that we all, you know, have that bit of insecurity every day.
Right?
We feel we're not perfect,
Yep.
or, you know, we feel like we could be doing more or better.
Right.
And, you know, I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, you know,
Not
every
at
single
all.
day. That, yeah, that's absolutely 100% true.
Yeah. So I want to make sure you know that, because like that's in my heart. And that's why I was like, I want to talk to her. I haven't had that many women on Conversation on the Rocks. I
No.
only had one other woman. And she's an artist, but my friends kept saying, when are you going to have a woman? When are you going to get a woman? I'm like, it's coming. I just don't feel it yet. It's coming. Let me find one,
Mm.
and I was like, my heart was like her. And I was like, okay, well, God, I'm going to
And I
send her a
received it.
message.
I received it.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I don't even feel like this is by chance. So,
Right.
I'm 39. So I've been through a lot.
Yeah,
And
I'm right behind you.
yeah,
I feel like I'm 58.
girl. Yeah.
Because we're still young, and
Yeah.
good Lord,
And you still
it's
have so much more. You have more years ahead of you,
yeah.
believe it or not, than you have behind you. And
Mm,
so look forward to that. And so much more. You have more years ahead of you,
yeah.
believe it or not, than you have behind you. And
Mm,
so look forward to that. And
mm.
some days are going to hurt. Healing is like this. It's not all, it doesn't go like this at all. For the people listening to this, if they tell you that healing is like this, and that's what it is. And you just ride that wave, and emotions are waves, and you have to just let them roll in. You feel it, you acknowledge it, and then you let it roll right back out, because that's the way emotions and energy and feelings, they work. And so
Right.
be proud of yourself. Be very proud of yourself, because you could have crawled under the bed, but you didn't. You wake up every day and you show this world, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You can't break me. You can't steal my joy. And
Mm.
and I'm moving forward. And for those who don't like it, don't look. And
Ooh.
that's it. And
Mm.
that's it. So my last
Don't
question,
look.
period. So my last question to you is, what's next for Fallon? Because I'm excited. So what's next for you? Like, what can we look forward to? No reality TV. But what's next? What's your passion? What do you want to pursue? And that artwork, you need to put that on your page and sell it. Okay.
Everyone keeps saying that. I haven't done that just yet, only because it's hard for me to break away from them, because they
Yeah.
have so many good memories.
Yeah.
But I do want to spread that happiness. So I do need to rid of them. One of my goals in life is to open a gallery and put all of my paintings in there. I mean, they don't have to sell, but I just want them to be able to, you know, make people happy. I really paint with happy colors.
Yeah.
So I really just want to spread that love and positivity to people through one way or another. Um, I will be doing public speaking. So I've been wanting to do that for years, but I've been battling that. Um, and now even more so, I wasn't going to do it. I was actually going to stop for a
See?
second because people kept saying things like, "Oh, she has 3 baby daddies and 3 kids,"
I
and
have 2 kids, 2 baby daddies. Go ahead, I'm listening.
right. But it makes you feel like, well, if I have all of these flaws, who wants to hear from me? Who wants
Everybody.
to listen to me? This is my second divorce,
Okay.
and it's just it's like all of these flaws and everybody wants to point these things out, and it's like, well, why would I do that then? But then I had to stop looking at social media for a little bit,
Yes.
and I had to center myself, and I had to understand and realize that God took me through all of these trials and tribulations, as we like to call them, so that I can learn
Yeah.
these lessons and I can share them.
Mhm.
There's so many people with the same stories
Yeah.
as you,
Yeah.
or worse,
Yeah.
stories that you never know what your story may do for someone else. And
Yes.
I love telling stories. I love it, love it, love it. Um, so yeah, I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go into public speaking, and
Yeah.
that's going to be my thing. I don't know if I'm going to write a book yet because I don't really read.
It's
It's
hard
not
once you have
my
kids.
thing.
I struggle. I ain't read through a book since I've been a mom. So tried.
Yeah, I suck at reading, so I couldn't proofread it. It would
Yeah.
be horrible. I'd be like, yeah, just go ahead and publish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I'm gonna tell my story probably through film, and also just public speaking. The ins and outs of my divorce, I plan on going deeper into the details of those things, in these seminars, so that people can really understand where it is that I come from and why it is that I chose to take the route that I did.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm working on right now. And I'm getting back into acting. I wasn't allowed to act in my
Imagine
previous
that.
relationship, so now I'm allowed to act
You're
again.
free.
Allowed
Act
and
and be
free.
great.
So
Yeah.
now I'm getting back into acting, and I'm so excited about it.
And you're in the right place for it too. You're in Atlanta. That's like the Mecca. I call it a women's empowerment group because, it's about turning the page and moving forward. These
Yeah.
women also dealt with men who hurt them, men that were supposed to protect them. And so in the process of them protecting themselves, unfortunately, some of these women ended up in this position. But they come to my group every week and we talk about everything. So I would love one day, one week to have you come and talk to my women because I'm always bringing speakers in just to
Wow.
talk to them and inspire them because they're between the ages of 24 to 40
Ooh,
ish.
I
Yeah,
remember
and
when
all
I
different
was 24.
nationalities. Yeah, so they're always looking for someone to deposit into them and to share their stories. And so when you're ready, I would love to have you talk to
Absolutely,
my ladies for sure.
absolutely,
And you
100%.
have to do a pop-up gallery. I think you should, Fallon. Just do
Really?
like a pop-up gallery, a nice pop-up, put your art on the wall, invite your closest friends and your loved ones, and just
Yeah.
celebrate art and you moving forward. Live out loud.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's time for me to come out of this shell that I've
Well,
kind of
you're still
got
fresh
into.
though. Don't rush yourself. It's still fresh.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so you want to take a couple of questions, just a few
Sure.
before we go. Okay, you guys, I'm not answering no crazy questions, okay? We're gonna go. Someone just said that there's no question, just sending you love. Someone else wants to know. No, we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, this is nice. So someone wants to know. Phoenix wants to know if you could touch on your younger you. What would you say to yourself? So what would baby Fallon say to adult Fallon? I think that's what you're saying.
To not look up to everyone that I felt at that time was wiser,
Yes.
stronger, more independent. I used to look up to a lot of people very easily, and because I thought that they were just better. They had more money, they were older. It seemed like they had everything going for themselves.
Yeah.
And what it really was that I was looking for was myself. I had all the answers. I was the person that I needed to look up to,
Yes.
and yeah, that's what I would tell myself. Don't look up to other people, look up to yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll learn that you were born with all the tools. God didn't leave you stranded.
They're all in there.
You're good
They're
enough.
all in there. And that's a good point that you make about looking at other people and assuming you know what their life is. And sometimes those people disappoint you too. And so I inspired by people. There's people that inspire me, but then I'm like, well, they're human beings too. Shoot, I don't know what the heck they got going on. Someone else's question was, how do you balance being a mom and being a businesswoman? How do you balance those two? That was her question.
That is actually, that was very hard. Only because me being a businesswoman only started more so after my divorce.
Okay.
After him and I separated and I moved out, I became more in tune with my business side. So I'm just now learning, believe it or not, how to do everything on my own. Because before this, you guys have to imagine I had a full staff. I had people to help me out with my business side. Whereas now I do have to be a mom 24/7 and a businesswoman. So that's a great question. Right now, my boys are actually very helpful. Thank God I had them young, but and they're at that age now, they can help me. My boys are very helpful. Anything that I need around the house to get done, they're there. I mean, even down to cooking. My 8-year-old helps me. I teach them how to help around the house and how to be more independent without mommy. So I think that helps a lot because it allows me to focus and deep dive into my work when need be.
I love that. We're going to do 2 more, and then that's because there's 21. There's just too many to even go through. One other, let's do 2 more. Let's see. Your skin is perfect. Have you ever considered a skincare line?
I am working on a skincare line.
Yay.
And thank you.
And then one of the other questions is, someone's asking if you ever considered a YouTube channel. You've already talked about what healing looks like to you. Your skincare, they're loving your skincare. So we'll end it with this last question, and then we'll close it. What's your motto for life?
Ooh, you came into this world alone, and that's exactly how you're going to leave it. Do not walk around trying to appease everyone. You were not created to appease everyone. People are going to dislike you. People are always going to have something negative to say about you. And that's one thing I'm actually repeating to myself every single day because it gets hard for even me, and I forget to, take my own words of advice at times, but the people who do gravitate towards you are those ones that you need to speak up to. Don't just shut down because, things may get hard, I know I'm in the public eye, but even before that, I would shut down in my, in my personal life, from family, from friends. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to, be social. I didn't want to answer just a text message. I mean, there are just certain things that just, get you down because you feel like you have to be perfect. And I just want everyone to know that you are perfect. You are exactly the way you're supposed to be, and you're only learning, you're only growing. And if anybody else has something negative to say about that, then fuck them. They don't need to be near you. They don't need to be around your space. You don't need to give them your energy,
Yeah,
because this is your life to live, and you're the only one who's going to feel your level of happiness. So don't give
yeah,
that.
yeah. Your next chapter is going to be really good, and I look forward to watching. You know, I'm going to make sure I send you the stuff I want to send you because I think you're going to love it, and I want to know what you think once you feel it moving because you will see it. You'll see it actually happening, and you're gonna be like, "What the hell, Aisha? It's really working." You know what I mean? So.
No, I'm like really excited because I'm like
Yeah,
into
I'm
stuff.
excited to send it to you. So
Yeah.
before we end, I like to do this little thing where I say three words, one at a time, one
Okay.
single word, and then you have to answer it with one single answer, not multiple. So one word question, one word answer. You
Okay.
ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Compassion,
Forgiveness,
happiness,
love.
and tomorrow.
I don't know why this came to mind, but every day.
Yeah. Well, listen, fair enough. Fair enough. So I thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your life to come on here and talk to us. You know, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here. And so we appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm definitely, listen, we don't know each other, but you have a sister on the West Coast. If you ever need me, you know, I'm always here I'm always here, you know, to help, you know, speak life into you and make sure that you're okay. And I'm sure you have your own village of people, you know, but you can never have too many people that love you. So with
Absolutely.
that being said, thank you so much, Fallon. Thank you, you guys, for tuning in. And this is another episode of Conversation on the Rocks. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
I normally have longer commentary and things to say, but I don't have much to say. Have we discussed that her soon to be ex husband is controlling allegedly? Yes. I mean, we've talked about everything from top to bottom. So I'm not surprised that he didn't want her following her dreams and acting. I'm not surprised that he just wanted her to be a stay at home mom, you know, and all of that allegedly. I'm not surprised about any of that. Sometimes when you survive, you know, physical abuse, then you enter the next relationship and you allow emotional abuse and things like that. So Fallon is still, you know, learning all of that. I love the part where, you know, she said, look, all of my insecurities and flaws stopped me, and fear stopped me from going after my passion, but now I'm going to, and that's powerful. So many times people look at their lives and say, oh, you know what, I'm not good enough. No, because you have three children by three different men. That's your story. There's someone out there that's their story that will be like, you know what, she went through all of this and look at where she is now. You survived domestic violence. I keep saying this. For those of you who are new here, if you go to the Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist, you will see that interview of Fallon talking about surviving domestic violence. You went through all of that. You survived all of that. And here you are still smiling, still being beautiful, still being classy, and still being Fallon. You know, you're going through a very public and messy divorce right now. And here you are still smiling, you know, admitting that you do have your days, but having strength. That's a beautiful thing. And you can help people with your story. So that's just for anybody and everybody. Never ever stop yourself from making your dreams reality because of fear of your past and what people are going to say. Like she said, people will always have something to say, but you keep moving, you keep striving to be the best you every day, and you keep going, and you will be surprised because your story might just be the blessing that somebody else needed to survive. So I'm glad that Fallon is moving forward, and I'm glad that her kids are also helping her around the house and all of that. I also love the morals and values that she's instilling in her kids. You know, I love when Fallon said, you know what, sometimes in summary, just because someone did something bad to you, you know, basically doesn't mean that you have to return the favor. I just also love that because I said this in a few of the videos that they do have children, and children old enough to see all of the mess that's been going on social media, and for that man to basically not even care. You know what? Okay, if I want to embarrass myself, fine, but not my kids who have to go to school with other children saying, oh, your dad did A, B, and C. So I love that she's basically saying, I have to set a great example for my children. I love that part as well. I love that she was laughing about her friend feeling bad for her and giving her crystals. I just love that through all of it, she's finding, fun in it. And you know what? Yes, I have my moments where I'm sad, but you know what? I can also throw a little fun shade at myself and all of that. So that whole crystal moment around like a little over the 10-minute mark, that was funny. And also the part about her not being good at reality TV and people saying, basically getting there, Fallon. And she's like, no, she's pretty. Reading people and throwing shade. And Fallon is like, yeah, that's just not me. So I love that she's just laughing about everything and saying, look, what am I supposed to do? Continue to cry about it? I've had my breakdowns and emotional moments, and now it's time to just get my life back and move on. Fallon is being positive, so I'm going to be positive and not be messy. But when she was like, yeah, just go ahead and publish my book because I suck at reading, I'm not going to proofread it, I was like, the person who's engaged to a husband, that's exactly what they did. At least Fallon is honest about her. But I know she's joking. With her boys and all of that, I know she read and stuff like that. But it's just like the interviewer said, I get it. You're busy. You have kids. You're doing everything by yourself. You went from having a staff to not having a staff anymore and doing everything on your own and all of that. So I completely understand. But I know someone in there is going to throw shade like, girl, who cares about proofreading? Old girl, you're going to proofread that. And she got people to do that for her. And she's going to slap her name on the book. And that's it. Gag order or not, I love what she said. What is that going to do for me? I sit here, I scream, I show receipts and all of that. Social media, go crazy. I come on YouTube, I make a few videos, and then now what? Exactly. People are already saying, okay, we get it. We don't care anymore. So now what? Just continue to move on and be at peace and be happy and whatever happens to those people, happen to those people, and just, heal and find your happy. So I'm glad that she's taking, this approach and absolutely public speaking, her skincare line, and everything else she have to do with her painting. I wish her the best. I did list in other videos that Fallon was going to open a gallery in Miami. You saw that interview. I did say that I'm not sure if it had anything to do with Simon, but if it did, then that might have changed her plans. As you can see in this video, she said that she talked about her painting, but she did not firmly say, oh yes, I'm absolutely opening a gallery. So who knows, he might have had something to do with that, and now because of the divorce, she's putting that on hold. But I love the encouragement of the pop-up shop and all of that. So regardless of what happens, I'm sure Fallon will figure it all out in the future. But yes, I'm all for healing right now and relaxing and all of that. I mean, she has a YouTube channel right now. So there's so much she can do to be this great and amazing woman. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds for her. And I wish her and her children absolutely nothing but the best. I wish all of you the best. And the interviewer, Aisha, great job. And thank you for just pouring into Fallon. I also wish you the best. Take care. And here, my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.